Hey guys, Azralynn here with a review of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is an atmospheric adventure experience that journeys into madness. You play as a Viking warrior named Senua, and you're trying to save the soul of your lover from the clutches of the underworld. You hear voices in your head, and they intensify and grow more frequent. The psychosis gets more and more severe the deeper into Helheim you go. I don't want to give any spoilers, but the story is outstanding. I love the way the story developed, and I was fascinated by the Norse mythology. Hellblade is a very interactive experience. A lot of the gameplay throughout Hellblade is walking around, climbing, exploring, watching cinematics, and listening to dialogue. There are also several pseudo-puzzles where you'll need to match up patterns with their corresponding shapes in the actual environment. I don't really consider them puzzles, but rather more like I Spies. I don't mind the mechanic for the most part, but it gets repetitive. There were a couple parts where it took me a lot longer than it should have to fit the shape into the world to trigger it properly. There are extended periods of gameplay where you will not encounter any enemies at all, but there is a significant amount of combat throughout the game. Very early on in the game, you die and the darkness takes hold of you, and every time you die, this rot of darkness spreads further. The game tells you that when the rot gets to your head, that you will die permanently. This perceived threat of permadeath is ever present, and it makes the combat feel very intense and quite enjoyable. The frequency of the combat increases as the game progresses. The combat system is very simple, but I found it extremely satisfying. The combat is fast-paced and does require some good timing. All of the attacks are clearly choreographed, so it's just a matter of learning what to expect and reacting accordingly. You only have 2 attacks, light and heavy, and then you can dodge or block. A well-timed block allows you to parry and swiftly counterattack the enemy. As the game progresses, more enemy types are introduced, and the number of enemies you fight at once increases. As you fight, you build up focus. This focus allows you to activate your focus ability, which drastically slows your enemy's movements. This ability is really awesome, and it's extremely helpful when fighting multiple enemies. The boss fights are crazy, and each boss encounter is completely unique, and the bosses are totally badass. There was one boss that I struggled with, but I think it was largely my own fault for not staying in the proper area while fighting the boss. The performance is solid, and the graphics are stunningly gorgeous. The character animations are absolutely fantastic. The main protagonist looks and feels so real, and the emotions she conveys really makes you form a connection with her and care about the characters and the events in the story. The enemy designs are awesome, especially the bosses. They're so gruesome and creepy looking. On top of the impeccable character design, the world as a whole is truly magnificent. Everything from breathtakingly beautiful landscapes to the grotesque areas of Helheim provide a visual treat all around. As far as the audio goes, the soundtrack and ambience are spectacular. The binaural audio is implemented extremely well, and it feels like these voices are talking to you from different directions. The constant voices in your head bickering amongst each other really screw with you. These voices telling you what to do and what not to do simultaneously create both doubt and confidence in the player, giving you this perpetual state of uncertainty as you play. The voice acting is terrific. The conversations feel authentic, and even though the voices in your head speak so often, I never found them to be repetitive. Between the incredible graphics and the amazing audio, Hellblade creates this immensely immersive atmosphere that keeps you enthralled from start to finish. The controls are fully customizable and there is full controller support. The game took me about 7.5 hours to complete, but I did miss out on a few of the runes that teach you about the lore. The linear story doesn't necessarily need to be replayed, but the game is so good that I can definitely see some people wanting to replay it. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is a fantastic game and experience. Although the action increases as the game progresses, just don't expect it to mainly focus around the combat. With that being said, I highly recommend this game to anyone looking for some fun yet simple combat, an excellent immersive story, and a gorgeous world that is sure to wow you. Hellblade is a work of art, and it has the quality of a AAA game at a very reasonable price. Hellblade is really something special. I absolutely love the game, and frankly, I would have been perfectly okay spending a bit more on it. If you'd like to check out my full playthrough of the game, I'll post a link in the description below. I hope this review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.